Hello everyone. This week I learned about the history of printing. And to kick us off, let's talk about a man named Guangzuan, who in 480 AD called himself Gong the Sage, and said that a supernatural being had given him a jade writing block, which did not require a brush, and one just blew on paper and characters formed. He used this to impress the local governor, but was summarily executed for, mystical arts after that by the successor of the governor. Now we skip to 650 AD, where the writing block truly starts being used. And this is an example of a writing block. They are often wooden and carved, and one would simply press it into some ink or some colorant and then put it onto the page. That's what a dude got executed for. Anyway, this method of printing was largely popularized due to the rise of Buddhism, who had values relating to preserving ancient texts and found it to be extremely labor-intensive to copy them all out. This practice also spread it from China to Japan and Korea. When the technology matured, and we're talking now 800 AD, there was a massive information explosion. Suddenly, more common people could own written text. Yeah, this was the first sort of proper printers. Now we move ahead a good 400 years, where a new discovery was made, also in China. It was more seen as an alternative to woodblock printing rather than a replacement. And the way it works, it was a movable type printer where you could exchange keys in and out to form sentences and important stories. This technology took a while to refine, a while being close to 450 years, until one of the most important technological developments was made by Gutenberg. And you've probably heard of this name, but if you haven't, in 1439 AD, Gutenberg made three important improvements upon the movable type printers, which I'll show you one of later. One, he used metal letters. Two, he produced a better ink, which clung more to the letters. And three, he used a spatial matrix to easily slot in letters in and out, making it way easier and faster to print and more readable. This revolutionized communication and book production. Within 10 years, from one press being existent, it shifted to over 200 presses being existent in various different states, in various different countries. By the 1800s, with more and more technological refinements, this sort of press was able to produce 250 sheets per hour, of course, of the same sheet, because otherwise it's a lot of manual labor still interchanging them. And this is what that would have looked like. This is a replica of the Gutenberg Press. And you can see here, this is where the uppercase letters, and this is where the lowercase letters would have been, and they would have slot into this contraption right here, and you would press it up and down to mark something with ink. And now we move on to the modern age, where we have two types of main printers, inkjet and laser printers. Inkjet are very high quality, high printing costs, and semi-slow speed, still much faster than those 1800s printers, and especially since these are able to produce different pages, completely different pages, but still slow compared to the laser printer, who is able to put 6,000 to 12,000 pages out per hour, which uses, nanotechnology of a laser charging some anions or something like that. It has slightly lower quality, but this is what we're dealing with today. So, in summary, our story started 1.5 thousand years ago with a guy who got executed for having a jade block. Or probably executed, I think is more accurate. We move on to wooden block printing, which got properly started in the 1700 ADs. The rise of Buddhism really encouraged this. And the earliest printed text were Buddhist spells found in various tombs. Then the movable printer was invented. Basically just a movable printing system using individual letter pieces. And while it did not gain acceptance for the next 400 years, it suddenly became one of the most important technological advancements in 1440 by being made into a more efficient system by Gutenberg. And if we compare that to 500 years later, we now have inkjet and laser printers capable of printing much faster, much better, more correctly, a bigger variety, immediately. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good week.